So I guess we'll just go left to right, huh? Which starts with Ashley for me. I guess it's the same lineup for you guys. I'm not sure.
I think so. Okay. So I worked to finally get that email stuff together.
What email stuff?
Yeah, I know, just minor.
I think I've heard of that.
The one-liner, just quick PR, probably slipped.
There's only one book, you mean?
So I sure did learn a lot about emails and sending them and formatting. And so got that done. Patrick and I did a hangout yesterday and talked about my PR and his PR, and that was great. I think we got things done. So yeah, that was my focus, reviewing, squashing, and merging. So, and I just squashed and merged mine, the email. So. Yay.
Oh, good. That's great. So, Robert, how about yourself?
So I'm the second one to the left for you?
I am. I guess it's different order for people.
Okay, then it's different order. Okay. I've been working on the membership sorting and searching, and which I thought would be very easy, but I'm struggling a bit with the formatting of, no, the styling of the search field in the search form. Somehow I'm doing all the same stuff as in the company number, but it looks different, and it's got a drop-down box instead of just an edit box. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong, so probably I'll put in a work in progress PR. So if one of you could look at it and then just tell me where I go wrong, that would be great.
And that's for adding search on member number?
Yeah, it's just a search. Okay. So I do all the same stuff as the company number, which is already there, and search for the company number is already there. And I put the same code in, but it styles a bit less high, and it gets a drop-down box.
Okay. Okay.
So it's strange. I don't know, and I can't find the. It looks as if there's some sort of magic going on. So I'd like to know where.
Yeah.
So that's why I go to the wizards.
Okay. And you've also been reviewing PRs.
Yes, I've been reviewing PRs. Yeah, and but I'll put this in probably tomorrow because I won't have time tonight.
All right, great. Susanna, how about yourself?
My PRs got merged, and I did some translations.
Oh yeah, thank you for that. Okay, so for myself, I've reviewed PRs and been responding to comments on the outstanding PR that I have from everybody, actually. So thank you all for that. It really, just if you look at that PR, it really illustrates the power of multiple minds working on the same thing and communicate. So where we ended up with that was kind of significantly different than my initial PR. So yay team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do have some good questions queued up for the client across the board, but also in that particular PR in terms of mailing addresses and whether the user's forced to have one or whatever, but all good stuff. And that's pretty much it for me. And I did create a lot of stories as well. I've got some more queued up as well. For instance, once this PR that I've got in place goes in, then if somebody changes mail address from one address to another, the mailing address, then we go through and we validate both addresses, and we fully validate, which means we actually geolocate again both addresses, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. So that's an example of, so anyway, I've written down stories like that I need to put in once that, I suppose I could put them in and put a blocker to my story. But anyway, so that's it for me.
I did look into the SPF, the mail stuff a little bit. We can talk about it when we get it.
Well, I guess we're in the parking lot then, so might as well.
Or things. Well, when we go through, it's a task. And,
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that then.
let's
Got
go
it.
who's-
Okay. Should we go through where we are in the current iteration then? Let's do
Yep.
that.
Okay.
Okay. Where are we? We are in Sprint 26, this guy tells us. So we just merged that so we can finish, we can deliver, and we can show it to the client then. We'll come back and talk about client, I guess, right? This one here, any changes on this one, Susanna? Email sent with membership app changes? Sounds like not.
No changes from me.
Okay. I will go ahead and set myself here as a co-owner so I don't forget to look at that. Got to retire that one. Email admin. Okay, so that's now. I forget who this poor guy is.
Francis.
Francis. Well, now he's unblocked as of a few minutes ago. So I wonder actually if you want to reach out to him on Slack and let him know that he could come back to this if he wants.
Right.
And maybe it'd be good if he doesn't have time now, just to let us know.
Right.
Yep. Okay. You want to talk about Capistrano, either in this particular context of this story, or more in terms of what you learned when we went through that fire drill earlier this week,
Sure.
or early last week,
Um,
where we thought we were.
different task, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We wait to then. We'll wait to then. Let's wait.
Okay.
Okay. Add search to users index. So we got that queued up for client demo.
Right.
Can we automate danger gem? Robert, you got that, but
Yep.
still ongoing. Okay. Generate membership numbers queued up for client. Add mail attribute.
Well, that okay. Can we talk about that one? Because you had the question about
Oh, right.
it being
No,
also
no,
for the user and.
no. It was more. Was it? That? Was it that?
Oh no, this is the generate. No, sorry,
This is
no,
the-
I'm wrong.
this-
It's the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it was the other one further down a bit.
Yeah.
This one here, are we good to merge that? I probably have to update it, but I think we've reached. You had one last comment I saw, Robert. Are we good on that one too?
Yeah, that's nothing to do with merging it, so that's okay.
This stuff.
I was just wondering why you did something the way you.
Okay, I think I entered a comment explaining. Didn't I? I don't see it here. Let me address.
Well, you did the first time, and then I asked. That was the one. I was just wondering why you did the up and down stuff. If there's a special reason for that.
It is if Rails doesn't know specifically how to reverse. So
Okay, yeah, and because I looked up reversible, I saw that it does here, but
well, what you're doing here probably would work to your
yeah,
point.
okay.
Yeah. So reverse.
So it's just to be sure,
changed.
not to have to look it up.
You're probably right. To me, it was just clear for me to make it more explicit with the up or down.
Okay.
But you're probably right. It would execute these steps in reverse sequence, wouldn't it? If we were rolling back.
Yeah, I thought that was what I read. Yeah. So okay, but
No.
then it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
only
had a
thing,
more complicated structure there before. I was actually looping through the addresses, and marking them as mailing address, etc. And because
yeah.
it was crazy because that's where I noticed looping through and just making that simple change after I introduced the column was taking to the point where I had to actually kill the process because it was geolocating every blessed address. And then I realized this is a stupid way to do it. And two, that's a systemic problem we have to address anyway. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I was wondering, are we sure that there are no double addresses in the database?
That's a good question. I don't know. Our software didn't support creating more than one address.
Okay.
For a company.
Okay.
I'll do a quick check on that. If there's a problem, I'll bring it to everybody's attention. But Ashley, you don't see how that can happen, do you? We could have more than one address for a company.
Well, it would be if two companies entered the same address.
Well, it wouldn't be associated with. Well, that would be just duplicating the same address for different companies. But I guess when you're importing legacy data, was there any situation that might have occurred such that a company has two addresses?
No.
No? Okay. I'll double check that, but hopefully we're good.
Okay. So
I'm going to deliver this, if it's okay with everybody. We won't merge it, of course, until client acceptance. And then we've got some questions queued up around that. Okay, so this is the one you're referring to, Robert.
Yes.
Yeah, so do you want to talk to this?
Yeah, it's a question for Susanna, I guess. If you can show the screenshot. I did add the membership number to the memberships list, but not to the users list.
Yeah, yeah.
And the question is, do you want it there?
I think there's So Susanna, this is your story?
Yes.
This is it, right? Where are the screenshots? Do I have the wrong one here?
No, it was in the pivotal tracker.
Oh, it was in PT?
You did the screenshots.
Oh, okay. I thought in your PR. So your story, Susanna, was, let's see. So when members are listed, show the membership number.
Yes.
So what Robert did was added it to what view? To the applications view, I think, was it?
Yeah, the membership applications view.
Membership applications. But it occurred to me there's two other areas where we show a member. One is the user list, user index. And if you're a member here, would we want to see the membership number there?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is the user view. So if we have an accepted application, then we have a real member here.
But they're the...
no, this is company number, not member number.
Yes, but somewhere on the user...
You know, I don't think we do. I looked at, I think the
we do. Yeah, we do on the user itself. We put, or the membership number, the membership application, because.
Yeah, the membership application, but not the user view. The user view doesn't show member number.
No.
And if it did, it would show it in this table for accepted.
Yes. Okay.
So the question is, do you want this story to include those two? Or do you want those two, but we can produce them in separate stories or whatever?
Separate stories.
Okay, because it would be probably more difficult because you can have two membership numbers per user.
No. No, you cannot.
You could have multiple membership applications, but shouldn't be able to have.
Okay, that's another story then, because now we have membership number on membership application.
Yeah, no, Robert's right. Here's a situation where if we had, let's say, we only show open, but if I had two open applications, well, I don't have a membership number, do I?
No, but you could have two accepted ones.
You could. This only shows. Oh, you're right. You're right. So this fellow here could have two accepted member applications. So if we show membership app, we need to show two numbers. That's not a big deal, but that's.
But he's still the same individual.
But
so he still has one membership.
No, okay, but member number's at the application level, not the individual level.
Yeah, well, then we should change that.
Does that have to be restructured? That's, oh boy, another restructuring.
Right, business rule. All right, so that's a user story we need in there, yes?
But, well, isn't this really a client question? Shouldn't you think about it a bit more? Because somehow it touches the double membership application question,
yes,
which we haven't got a definite answer on.
No.
You know, we decided, I think you, Susanna, and Bella agreed that if a member pays a membership fee for one company, they don't pay it for a second company within the same year.
Right, yeah.
So it seemed like member belongs to the user, not to the membership app for a particular company. Sorry,
Is
Ashley, I
it-
interrupted you.
Same. Yeah, we kind of talked about this when we had that discussion, whatever, the other week, is that, yeah, a member just pays their fee once a year, and they might be associated with multiple companies, but yeah, what
Okay.
Patrick said.
Okay, but then we should really refactor membership number to user instead of
Exactly.
membership application.
Seems to be where we're headed.
Yeah.
But to your point, Robert, should we confirm that at the client meeting tomorrow? Susanna, what's your thought? Is it why was member number in membership application? Well, of course, we didn't have a user profile back in the day, right? Everything was
No.
stuck in a membership application,
Yes.
including first name, last name.
Yeah.
I think that's why, because that was the only place.
Only place to put it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I'm entering a user story in Pivotal Tracker now, a feature.
Oh, good. So getting back to this story, Robert, would you mind creating a story or stories for these editions?
Yeah, but then the other one would be a blocker. Yeah.
Well, let's see.
'Cause-
You're right. You're right. Both of them would be, wouldn't they? Yeah, we don't want to do any further work on member number until we get that fixed. Yeah.
But I'll make a note of it. So add 2 stories and have this one as a blocker.
Okay. Good gosh.
Okay. We can handle it. We have the technology and we're agile.
Okay, that's going to be the last major restructuring, right? We're done with. I thought we were done. Boy. Okay. Well, that should be it. That's hopefully it. So with that, are we good to merge 368? Let's see. I didn't. So you approved it, Ashley. Do I have any outstanding? I think it was just this, what we just talked about. Other than that, I think I'm good to go. Yeah. Okay.
So was there a
And
question?
there's the link. Ashley wanted to ask if there should be a link to the to the what to the
To the user, just like the name on that view.
to the membership, but it is in the membership application. So that's, I can understand it when we do the refactoring, and
So that's fine. We can hold off on that. Just kind of a suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, Robert, if you update, you're good to go ahead and merge it.
yeah, it's
And that's a feature, right?
that's a feature. Yeah.
Okay. So, assuming you'll do that, maybe tomorrow? If
Yes.
you, okay, I'll just go ahead and deliver then, and we'll queue it up for client review then. Okay. All right, production. So these things are done. Do we need to show this to Bella, Susanna, or are we okay? She probably wasn't even aware of them, I imagine.
Yeah, no. Yes.
So we just accept?
Yes.
Okay. Why can't it keep me on the same part of the page when I click on a button there? Anyway,
Just to annoy you.
yeah, and it's working. If that's all I have to worry about, then
Right.
display memory. Okay, we got that. Review models for refactoring potential. This is where I declared victory, and we just learned that we're not done.
Yeah, and I have some thoughts. I wonder if membership is going to be its own model. It's an abstract idea, but anyway.
Could be. Could be. Yeah. All right. Cucumber steps, path exceptions, not. This is done, right? Ashley?
Yeah, merged.
It's merged. Okay, good. All right. Membership perimeter not permitted. That's done too, right? 361.
Yeah, Actually, we should just delete that one. Turns out not explicitly needed.
Oh yeah, that was the question where why did it break? Or why didn't it break the controller?
Right. And so I looked into it, and it's because it's not explicitly needed. So we should just delete that.
Yep. Okay.
Good.
All right. Let's see. This one too, 362 has been merged, I believe, right, Ashley?
Correct.
Default order. Do we? We don't need to show that to the client, right?
Right.
It's not visible to them. Okay. And
Yay.
this one was done, right? 363?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we'll
Rid of that annoying message. That's what I should have called it.
we have so many deprecated messages, I tend to ignore them, but we should be more sensitive to that for sure.
Well, you know, right. We get to them when we can. And so we did.
So there's a couple things that come up, which I don't think we've talked about yet. This clobber member, well, we did talk about that, but then
This was
Ashley
the
did some
yeah.
changes to capybara. Now, can you explain why in our last meeting it looked like we were still clobbering the page?
Because Susanna ran it without updating her code, and so she wasn't actually running it with my new Capistrano fix.
Oh, that would do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that was worrisome.
And there was something with the first time.
The
The first time when you ran it from your machine, where the fix had been,
Yeah.
it deleted all the files.
right. But so then we reran it, I think twice, and it was all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
you copied the files then to the
Well, I
menu.
backed them up. Yeah.
And then it worked, but there's still the question why it didn't work the first time. Why it removed it? Well, it looks like it removes the files as soon as you put it in shared. It removes the files already there. That's what we saw.
Yeah.
So we have to. If we do that again, we should be careful. We really needed the backup.
what did you say, Rob? What was the
Well,
second?
Ashley put the files of the pages to the shared in Capistrano, and the first time we ran it, all the files already there were removed, and then we had to restore the backup, and then it worked.
Is it kind of like the first time we ran it, it hadn't seen the fact that we designated pages as shared? And then, so it's only a one-time thing that happens? After that, it knows to be shared? Or do we have a theory as to what happened?
It is a one-time thing. That's certainly true.
Okay. All right. So if it's a one-time thing, then we're okay with this. So accept this, guys?
Yeah, the hot fix is there, and then we have the follow-on user story is about what do we do? Are those data? So.
Yep. Okay. And then this one, I'm not familiar. Companies that exist in the system without a corresponding application. What's that one about?
Huh?
Susanna, do you want to speak to this? Looks like you're the author of this.
Susanna found it.
It was that one, yes. I don't know yet. Maybe we can have it pending. I haven't tried to make it happen again.
So our theory is, so Susanna noticed that there were companies not associated with members anymore.
I saw that on Slack, yeah.
Yeah, and then our theory is that perhaps some users edited their company number after the fact.
Oh.
And so we need to look into that, and then there's likely going to be user stories from that.
I see. So related to that, if we have a company and we have a membership application that's been accepted, that's why we have a company, do we delete the company if the membership application is deleted, if that's the only app for that company?
Well, that, yeah, that's okay. It's,
So we got dependent delete on...
yeah.
Well, it can't just be dependent delete because we can't delete the company if there's another membership app associated with it.
Right, we've taken care of that.
Oh, it's all, okay.
But we, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead, Robert.
We also have a story in place where we say that we don't want the membership application to be edited after it's accepted. So that would solve this problem too, because you only get the company after it's accepted.
Right.
And then you can't change the company number after that.
But you can on the company page.
You can at this moment, but you can't after we implemented the story that's already in Pivotal Tracker that you can't.
No, it's different.
You should be able to.
You should always be able to edit your company.
The company number?
No, but your company information.
Right, right.
But is the number, is the company number on the company?
I think so.
It's in a membership application.
It's also. It's in both places.
It shows on the membership application, but right, an organization number is a legal Swedish identifier for the company, correct?
Yes.
But the field is in the membership application.
Yes, but on the company, it's also a field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? So we copy it.
Yes.
Okay.
They're not dependent on each other after the fact.
Oh, that's strange. Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So that's all right. Well,
it is very strange.
So I'm gonna.
I guess we hadn't even thought of the possibility.
Well, right? Okay.
Like, why would someone want to change that?
But why would we want it to have it in two places?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I think that's an artifact of throwing a prototype together and.
Right. Okay,
because the membership app has company org number and it's optional true, and it's just to let the admin who's reviewing the app know what company they're dealing with.
Oh,
and then when it's accepted, it's copied over to the company model, and the company model has it as required. It validates as the presence of it.
Right. So maybe this should be right.
So we do need it in the membership application.
Right, and let's call it something like pending membership.
Well, at that point, well, actually, just think of this: if a membership application is accepted, we copy it over to the company. Can't we just delete the org number from the membership app at that point?
Well,
and then not allow anybody to edit or create it again.
So the question is, when do we create a company object associated with a membership application? And should that company be called maybe pending? Should it have a status then associated with it? Or what? Here's another idea, and we can work this out another time too if we need to, but in the membership application, we could call that attribute the pending company number or proposed company number. And then once a membership application is accepted, then it's set to nil because.
Yeah, something like
or
that.
Or we think make the field of the company number on the company uneditable.
So that's right. That's like the next.
The quick fix, if that's really the problem, why there are two companies. Yeah.
Well, I think
without
company number on the company itself should be editable, shouldn't it? It's the company number on the membership app that's being edited that's inconsistent with the company it was created for originally.
No, the other way around.
Oh.
It's very interesting, but I have to go, I'm afraid. I hope we can we can do this another time.
Yeah.
That you won't solve it in the 5 minutes when I'm gone.
We're going to come up with a wacky thing and we're going to assign it to you.
That's right. You get the story.
And we're going to hold our thumbs, Robert.
Oh, it's this.
Oh,
it's doing this.
No, that's still your thumbs.
Yeah, but that's what we. Okay, I have to go. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Twiddling his thumbs, maybe.
Right, for crossing your fingers. That's what they do. Wow, that's a lot of work.
It sounds like it is.
You guys are smarter in Sweden. Okay. So once the membership application is approved,
yeah, we need a story to work this through, a kind of a design story.
Yeah. Okay, I'm entering that. Or
yes, I can edit my company number on my company page.
You can, okay.
When I do that, is it still my company?
Yeah.
Yes. So the system still knows it's my company.
Right. Right. So we still haven't solved this one that you have open, Patrick, in Pivotal Tracker, companies system. Like, how do we get to that state? Data. But in discussing this, we've identified these. So should we use, so I just assign that new story, that label design, just because you said it, but actually that's too ambiguous. Maybe we should call that model design, Patrick? Because we're starting to talk about these stories about refactoring and changing the models.
Yeah, I call it design, but I realize it's not really a design. It's basically what is the business rule that we need to implement. We don't really.
Right. So business rules and models.
Business rules and models. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe two labels, huh? Like a business rule can owner of a company go and change the org number of an existing company? Do they ever have a situation where they get assigned another organization number? I would suspect not, right?
Or what if they entered the wrong one, but it validated? It's a valid number, but they entered the wrong one. And then they come back and say, oops, that was...
Right.
And they need to be able to correct it, so...
It's like a social security number.
Yes.
Yep.
Tax ID identifier for sure.
That's good. Something to be thought through.
Okay.
All right.
Story.
The title of the story is Social Company, Not Membership. So that's our intent there. Yeah.
Number.
Yeah, I like those labels. The story's getting long. Are you ready, Ashley? Don't interrupt your thought process.
Okay.
Okay. Let's come back to this SPF thing in a minute. Just finish these up. So remove myself. That's been merged, is that right?
Yep.
466? I think it has. So Susanna, you're the client. So can we just accept this now? Or should we show it to the
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then CS design issues, same story?
If it's okay for you, it's okay for me.
This is a slightly different one, but yeah.
That was merged, or?
Yes.
Yes, it was merged. Okay. All right, so we'll accept that. Search and sort by. Did that move to the top? Okay. God, I hate when it does it.
I know, it pops it into the, yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying. Search and sort by membership number. That's what Robert's working on.
Right.
And this one here, determine how. So we talked about this, and we ended up with resolution on these, and I've created one story, or 3 stories, one for each of these. So I'm just going to finish that because there's nothing else to be on this. This was a business rule or model design story. So
Good. Yeah.
you got that right. Okay, good. Close that. So this SPF thing.
Right. Nope.
The 3 stories I referred to.
Patrick, you just did the wrong one.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. So if you just go back, if you just closed out Roberts.
Oh, well, he might be happy with that, so he doesn't have to do any work, huh?
Good problem.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
It was started, right? Sometimes this thing jumps around so much, you got to be really careful what you're pointing at. When
Yes. So you can close yours, determine how to refactor company, blah, blah.
That was the one I wanted to, isn't it? Yeah, okay, good. It's done. So on this one here, Suzanne, I don't know if you've been keeping track of the long-winded discussion here.
No.
But it kind of looks like this is pointing to, and I'm not sure it's true, pointing to a incorrectly formatted SPF record in the DNS record for this.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So the first thing to try is you need to make sure that there's a space before that tilde all.
Yeah.
One would hope it wouldn't be stupid enough to require a space, but you know, we shouldn't assume, right?
You never know.
It is, because that's a separate
field.
Right, option.
Mm-hmm.
The include says, look, if any mail comes from this other domain, Mailgun, it's okay. It's from us.
Yeah.
And then the tilde all means if you get what they call soft error, then don't worry about it. It's all good.
There is no space.
So there's no space there. So Ashley may have it.
So did you just fix it, Susanna, or there was a space and now there isn't, or what just when you say?
The screen. And I can see what Patrick is showing. There is no space.
Email mail gun looks good, and maybe space is all it takes.
Right, there should be a space.
So I will add a space.
Well, the confusing thing about that, Ashley, and I think you're right, but confused me and Susanna as well, is that Mailgun goes out, looks at the DNS record for our domain, and turns it green. Says, yeah, that looks good. SPS fine. So I think the Mailgun guys got to do a little more work on their side.
Yeah, they're not. Their check is not sufficient.
Yeah.
Because when that site that you linked to, Patrick, which is really helpful,
I saved it.
Okay.
Oh, you already made the change?
Good. So let me run this little tester.
It probably takes a while before it shows on all of the internet.
Probably right.
Let me see what it says. See if I can. Oh, now you have a space after the tilde.
No.
Are you looking at Mailgun?
No. So here, let me do a screen. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. Okay. So I had this nice test information entered.
So this is now showing a space on the mailgun side. And again, it's saying, oh, you're good to go, no problems. So,
Right. And let me share my screen real quick.
Yeah,
Show
let's
you
do
this tester.
Yep.
Mini open. Okay, so this beverage hosting, am I showing you the right one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that one that was failing before?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So I had this populated and now I don't. So hold on, let me get information in there. Okay, so everything is good except for that last one when I do the SPF check. So let me get the right received by.
This is like a useful host, a useful site.
It is, and so like I said, this was a link from the one you posted, Patrick, the SPF org, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that actually was somewhat readable. That's
Yeah.
some of
So
them are just so specific.
I was able to start. Okay, from Mailgun. Okay, here I am. All right, so looking at the mail source, the header is where I'm getting this. It's coming from this IP address, and that passes. And then it says, what's the sender address in the email? And it comes from no reply. And so it says, okay, when I look up this domain, that's good. We have an MX record and those check out. So yeah, it looks like maybe this part has not propagated yet.
Mm. So what happens when you do SPF check?
I've got to fill in this next thing first. So I am scrolling up through the mail header. Look at that. So it says, okay, this machine name tracks with that IP address. We're good. So now if I run the SPF check, so yeah, this hasn't propagated yet.
Mm-hmm.
So this word mechanism is important. This is why I talk about, because in the syntax for the SPF record, this option and include is what they call a mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then this all thing is a separate option.
Yep.
So that's why there should be this space in between them.
So what was confusing, if you look at the story, I took a screenshot of what Meldon was saying before. It shows a space between the include and the soft fail mechanism. It's, org space tilde all is what it shows. So they actually add that space when they displayed it.
I bet when they're parsing, they parse it looking for this.
I think their parsing is bad. They're
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
okay, good, great. Hopefully that's it. Thumbs crossed.
Right, twiddling, holding.
Exactly.
Anyway,
right.
I'll post this to Slack.
Yeah, that's a useful site for sure. I have to say, I thought Mailgun would be all over this and help us out a lot, and they just looked at us, hey, your mail got through. What are you worried about?
Yeah. So now we could say, Patrick, maybe, I can't remember which one of you asked Mailgun, maybe both of you did, but somebody should say to Mailgun, look, it's failing. Google fails, this test fails. So
yeah,
your parsing check is not sufficient.
If we confront it, that is the situation. I'll just post to the support
Good.
ticket and say, hey, you guys want to send it to product development and fix this.
And then you can pay us for our debugging work.
Exactly. You're welcome. I think you're so damn smart.
That's right.
Okay, so we reviewed pull requests for the most part. I think we're in pretty good shape there. We can't, public client-facing stuff we can't merge yet, but I guess the only thing left to do is look at our client meeting agenda.
Yeah.
You want to share your screen, Ashley, if you've been working on that?
Yeah.
You're presenting already.
I stopped. Am I still? Because
Well, I still got you presenting, so I can leave you there. Since
so just think, right, this sharing, presenting. Okay.
So maybe we should queue up some. Oh, you do. You already got it.
Yeah. So
Oh,
this
great.
is what I have so far. I just want to make sure I had demos and then questions.
Mhm.
So searching and sorting now for Matthews, and since he's not, I guess, around, one of us will do this demo.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. This is Robert's. Membership numbers are now created automatically.
You may want to put names on the demos, so you know who's signed up for.
Good.
So the first one is me. I'm wondering if Robert's going to be able to attend the client meeting.
Probably not. Susanna, do you?
Okay. Susanna, you want to demo that?
I guess.
The power of editing. Type in the.
Oh my God.
So see why I volunteered for this? Okay, membership numbers now shown on the list of membership applications. Who wants to do this?
Robert thing. Well, it kind of goes with the prior one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So email sent. This is mine. Company addresses. So has this been merged yet? What part of it has been?
No, because we have to hold off on merging until client acceptance. So.
Well, I mean, we have questions for this then, is that?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so it's not a demo yet.
So really no, it is, because we need to, well, I see
Demo in
one.
order to ask questions.
Yeah.
So demo finished.
I think it's a demo because I'd like her to see it and have that context when we ask her about mailing address. And if she decides, well, no, you're going to have to implement this, we could either do it as a separate follow-on story, or we say we've got more work to do on this. We got a rejection. And we had to.
Okay, how about that?
Yep. I think the only question we have is what we talked about before, which is if a user puts himself in a situation where their company has no mailing address through either multiple addresses, all of which, none of which, or they have no address, do we put coding in there that prevents that? My feeling about that is it's so intrusive and so forceful that, I don't know, I don't think it'd be a good practice, but anyway.
How should I just want to put a little line in here so that we know what that question is?
Well, should we force one address to be a mailing address, and subsidiary of that would be, or ancillary to that would be, should we prevent the removal of a single address that is the mailing address? Yep, that's it. Let's see, anything else we need to demo? I think you got them all. I've got 5.
Look through the pivotal tracker and.
Do you have display member number? You do, don't you?
Membership numbers now shown on the list.
So do you want to add a related questions to that then that we came up with?
Sure.
Which is,
Yes.
so do we also want the membership number to show on the users index view? Susanna, is Bella not an admin?
No,
She is not. So she wouldn't even know
it's
what the
just
users.
me. No.
Okay,
she
so you're
doesn't
the
know.
you're the sole decider on that then.
So this is
User index view.
Because, you know, when Ulrika was active, she was also the membership responsibility person. But since the other Susanna is the money responsibility person, she can't also be the member person.
okay.
Well, in that case, any questions we have here are solely for Susanna.
This one.
Yeah. Should the membership, and there's also should the membership number show up on the user show view? We can make them one question, I guess, or two.
I'm all right.
But we will actually get a person, a paid person, to do this administration
At some
business.
point.
Oh, what's the timing on that? Do you know?
Pretty soon.
Oh, that's great.
I guess the
As
more,
soon as possible. So I don't have to do everything.
yeah,
That's great. Even better.
or they should start paying you.
Yes, we thought about that, but then the other people of the board want to get paid as well, and there's not enough money for that.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a good move. Then that person can join our calls then too.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I think-
Okay, so should I just leave it like this? Or do we want to talk about these questions for Susanna by Susanna now, or what?
Well, I'm wondering if Bella really can't weigh in on these because she's not an admin. What's the point of weighing in on these questions with her? You know what I mean? These are Susanna. I think you're the sole decider on those two questions there, since you're the sole admin right now.
And I say it is a good idea, but it's not important right now.
Okay.
Okay. So we can create a story or stories for each of those and leave in the icebox.
What's more important is to be able to edit a user.
So
Need a story.
what do you mean by that?
Like, I had this person who changed mail address, so we figured out how to solve it, but she couldn't log in because she didn't remember her password, and she couldn't send for a password because her email address was old.
It's wrong.
So
that's
I was gonna log in and like change her email, but I couldn't do that except for the application. I couldn't change her profile email, but I could change her profile password, so we solved it that way.
Yeah.
But I think there will be other times where people, like Karu, her last name is still wrong. I can't log in and change that now. And she's too busy or something.
Why can't you log in and change it? Don't you know her login credentials?
No.
You don't. Okay.
No. Yeah. Admin has no way of knowing that.
But you can know what I mean. Hasn't she given or told Susanna her credentials? I guess not.
No, I don't think she knows her credentials.
Okay. Well, she can go in and reset her password, right?
Yes, I mean, I could do that, sure, but it's more easier to do it as admin.
Yep.
This is what needs to happen.
Well, those kinds of things are really important. So are you writing stories for these as they appear to you?
No, you just go in
I
and
think
fix
that's
it.
the answer, right?
You
The
skip
silence speaks volumes, as we say.
it. So here we go. Admin needs to be able to edit user information. This is higher part. Good. And
You change username. Username. I don't need to change the last name.
all right. I'm going to save this page as is just for a moment. So this is what I put in there.
Okay, good.
Is somebody, since I'm editing this, does somebody make a feature? User stories? I'm not seeing that.
Susanna, did you hear that?
I
thought Ashley was the user story master.
Hey, I'm trying to share the love.
You can't do everything, although she usually does.
No, well. Right. So you start it, and then we can flesh it out as needed, Susanna.
You can just cut and paste those titles right there from the
Right. Yep. I'm having coffee. Been trying to eat my yogurt without making too much noise.
It's been really annoying. I don't know if you knew that, but no, I'm kidding. But just related to that, just as a matter of interest, Mailgun has a pretty cool service that we could use eventually, which is you can send it an email address, and it will send back to you whether it's valid from its point of view, and even give you recommendations on what to present to the user, like, did you mean? So it actually looks at MX and DNS records to determine, is this an address that may actually be delivered to? Does it have a server? It may actually test the server and say, is this a valid user address for, if there's such a SMTP request. But anyway, it does a lot of cool things like that. And it also, if you're sending it to Gmail, it says, what's the pattern of the Gmail address before the domain? So Gmail will take dots, like user dot last dot name. It won't take underscores. Yahoo will do the reverse. So it's smart enough to understand those from the big email providers.
Sounds like sure, Patrick.
It's really awesome. And then because we rely upon emails so much, as evidenced by these stories, it would be good to capture mistyped emails when they're first entered by the user. So
that is always a good idea.
Yeah, and we can do it because, I mean, Mailgun used to provide it as a free service. You didn't even have to have an account. Now you have to have an account, and you have to have a credit card associated with your account. So there's some issues there about you only get 100 for free and then in 1 month, and you got to pay for subsequent. So you have to turn it off for testing, for instance. You only do it in production. But I'll create a story for that, put it in the icebox.
All right. Can I stop presenting myself? No, I think you have to.
I got to do that, yeah.
You're in charge. Great. So it'll be interesting to see what, I'm going to look at the analytics in Pivotal Tracker here. So I think our last iteration, since it just finished, you know, in Pivotal Tracker, well, let me finish my sentence, I guess, would be helpful.
You can't spawn another sentence in the middle of a sentence and spawn a third one in the middle of the second. Since we have, our stack only goes so deep, actually.
That's right. Recursion, blah, stack.
Yeah.
Core dump.
Exactly.
It's there.
Not pretty. It's not pretty.
Oh my God. So Pivotal Tracker thinks that our iteration ended, what, yesterday? Whatever day. Anyway, we're in the new iteration.
Mm-hmm.
But really what we did is we just closed out a whole bunch of things for that previous iteration. So it's going to assign the points to this new one. any rate, all to say, I think that we should change Pivotal Tracker so that it knows our iteration really ends on Mondays, because Mondays are when we do this kind of thing right before a demo.
Hmm.
You know, we've got this overlapping. We're starting work on an iteration before we've had the client meeting because of what happens in the real world.
So you're proposing we start an iteration on Tuesday, and 2 weeks later we close it on Monday?
Yeah, I don't know quite what to do. If we look at the, maybe I will share my screen again. If we look at the Pivotal Tracker analytics page.
We can't see it yet, actually.
I know. How about now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yep.
So now we're in a new, and I just clicked on analytics up here. So like our previous, since our previous iteration just finished, and didn't finish any features, I think it's going to say that we had a, you know, very low velocity. But with this one that we just started today, already we've accepted 6 bugs, 2 chores, and a feature. So look at this. So if we look at, the previous 25, we could have a few points accepted, but I don't know. You know, it's not a huge deal. Like, nobody's getting paid more or less because of points. It's something to think about. Working with Pivotal Tracker more, should we adjust these dates? So just something to think about. So look, today we've already accepted 9 stories.
Well, I mean, looking at that, overall, aside from what you're bringing up, it's clear that we're doing a lot of stories, but we're not getting, because we don't have points for non-features, it's just, we're still treating this as a fairly sophisticated spreadsheet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Until we do that.
So one thing is that here I'm looking at iteration based on stories versus points.
I know.
And
I mean, the points, yeah.
Right. So here, this one is really flat for this previous iteration. Even though the things that we accepted today really should go in. At any rate, just.
Well, I think your idea is Tuesday to Monday makes sense, given that's our cadence and that's our frequency of meeting with the client.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about. So, okay. So should I change it and we can just start to think about it or see how it works?
I'm fine with that. I mean, we're experimenting now as it is. We can't be.
What do you think, Susanna?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Won't Robert be surprised? So now instead of finishing up on Friday and starting on Saturday, we'll start on Tuesdays.
Simply because we don't like Mondays.
Yes. Who likes Mondays? All right. I don't know what this will do for this today, but I'm going to go.
Here's sound of explosions somewhere.
I know. All of a sudden, Robert gets assigned.
And you would have voted against this change on PT anyway, so it's insult to injury.
That's right. Leave a meeting early, that's what happens.
Yeah, Robert's gone. Now we can reconfigure PT.
That's right. Now we can do what we want. Okay, so let's see. For current iteration, okay. So maybe we'll really see this better in the next.
Wait, what did it do? We're now in the middle of a sprint. when you made that change.
I think.
That's screwed up.
Well, I think if you change it in the middle of a
In the midst of a sprint, it does that?
So
Oh.
I'll play
All right.
with. I'll look at the date. Maybe I can change the date of this current one.
Even if you can, it's okay. We'll just adjust.
Okay, so what else? So going forward, so we have demos and stuff for the meeting tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Stop screen sharing, and then you can stop me presenting. And we're going to see if the SPF thing propagates.
Yeah.
Keep working on that. And that'll be great. And I'll reach, and then so emails will be ready to move forward on that pretty quickly now. I'll reach out to Francis.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Susanna, what's your sense of prioritization of giving a member the ability to create an address for themselves? Maybe just one address, one mailing address.
They can already change their address. Oh, you mean a member, not the company.
Do you even care about member addresses, or is it only company you care about?
We will when we start charging and billing people for their own membership.
Yes, around then.
Okay, associated with the online payment then.
So I'm going to make a note of this in client meeting here just because.
Yep.
All right, so I guess I could share the screen. That's my next word, entomology thing. Where does that come from?
What was that? Didn't get that.
Okay, don't worry about it. Babbling. Okay, editing client meetings. All right, member addresses. So is that?
Sounds like it's pretty much it, yeah.
Is that correct, Susanna? We will need to track an address for, I don't know if it's for a user or a member yet. I guess it's going to be a user. It's going to be both because they're not a member until we receive the money.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about two different things here. We're talking about mailing address and billing address. Is that right?
Oh, no.
Do we actually need a mailing address, or is it just a billing phenomenon, a billing address thing?
We don't know, huh?
Well, the whole thing complicates by that we decided that companies was the one who was gonna be members first, and then we decided no, let's have it both, so that the company is age branded and the members are members.
Right.
Yeah.
And that makes things complicated in my head.
So you can.
I don't know. I guess some people will want the billing address to be the company address, and some people will want it to be their home address. I don't know.
Right. So then we get into defaults. So we don't know. So yeah, that's perfectly good answer right now. We don't know. Right.
We don't even know if we need to track billing addresses on the SHF side, as we talked about before. Could be just something on the HIP side that we do.
Right.
Did you pay?
Hi, Marcus. I can't.
The story about the restructuring from the membership number to the user from the membership application.
Yeah.
Is that in this current sprint?
No, I mean, I entered it, but we'll have to.
Okay. We'll have to figure out when we want to do that. That sounds
Do
pretty
you
quick.
want to, Susanna, if you need to go, I'm just assuming since Marcus was there, but maybe
No,
not.
he just asked if I paid a bill or not.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure she did.
Speaking of billing address.
That's right. Speaking of billing, he's right in there. He's right with us.
Yeah, exactly. It's in context.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, so what was your question then, Patrick?
No, I was just wondering about that restructuring of the membership number. That strikes me as something we want to move on pretty quickly.
Yeah, well then,
Pour any more concrete on that.
right. So in Pivotal Tracker, I can, why don't you, right, drag and drop it into high enough on our current iteration, sure.
Do you happen to know the
Oh, okay. I can do it. I have it right in front of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't find it.
I don't know if you still have me present me or not. Yeah. To unpresent me.
Didn't I? I thought I did. Nope, I did not. There we go.
I don't know why it matters, but for some reason.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. Okay, so I just dragged it to the very next chore that happens, org number. And I put that in there because that's the Swedish.
That's not the one I was referring to. The one was where we're going to take the membership number from the membership app model and move it to the user model.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because it really belongs to the user, not the company.
I'll move this one down. Okay, well, you can do a search on membership number. And I get
I thought you'd created a story for that.
I did 3. Say it again.
We're refactoring membership number attribute from the membership application model to the user model.
Oh, I don't know that I captured it that way. Membership. Board member. A person can only have one membership per user, but might be associated with multiple companies. I don't know that we've captured that.
Okay, I can create a story for that then.
Yeah, maybe search.
Sure.
Right, and so that's a design thing. So Patrick, maybe you and I can, at some point, each individually go through things in Pivotal Tracker and assign those tags, since you and I like them so much, business rules or the model design.
So just a question on use of PT. Can I share my screen? Let me share my screen. Okay.
I mean, Susanna, you can too. I'm just trying to not make work for you.
Well, she's not getting paid. We have to pay the whole board now?
Oh, man.
It's going to be onerous.
New memberships.
So I have this thing, it's iteration and it's supposedly automatically, well, we're using manual building, aren't we? So if we switch to all stories have points, we may be able to go back to automatic build, automatic plan, I mean. So the question is though, have you noticed this actually when I click and create a new story? The story, sure, I won't even make it a feature. Then it dumps it into the current iteration.
Well,
I guess that's part of what manual planning.
no, this is actually kind of been happening. In other words, as soon as you make a story, it's always entered as the very first item in the icebox.
But this is current iteration, right?
And yeah, and the way it fills up the current iterations, it just takes the top stories from your icebox and puts them in that order. So you have to keep your eye. So it's a factor of two things that happen. Mm-hmm. One is that as soon as you make a story, it shows up as the very top item in your icebox. And I don't like that, but I don't know how else to change it. And so that
see it in the icebox here though.
Well, maybe that's where you know what? That's because you clicked on add it.
I added it on the current iteration. So so my point is though that if we were doing automated planning, even if I click to add a story, see it just says add story, not add story to current iteration.
Yeah, but you're in the current iteration view. I always add it to icebox.
But I'm wondering if we were on automatic planning.
No.
It would.
I don't know.
Current iteration, assuming our points were already consumed by all the stories.
Correct. Yeah, I don't know if it would let you add a story there.
Yeah, so still more to learn about this.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing is, so when we do this, we just have an ungodly mess in terms of stories, just stories on stories without. So we've dispensed with our formal planning of what goes into a sprint by labeling stuff. And now we're presented with this, which is equally out of control.
Yeah, you still have to drag and drop and review priorities and move things around.
Well, I do, except that we're kind of operating as if we had automatic planning going, but we don't.
Well,
we still have to do sprint planning, to your point, manually.
We still have to do sprint planning and right.
So here's what I think, and I'm probably totally wrong. If we turned on points for all stories, not just features, which means we have to assign points to the stories, which is a pain, but if we did, and we turned on automatic planning instead of manual, then even if I clicked and added a story, it wouldn't jam it into the current iteration if it exceeded our velocity.
That's correct.
Yeah. Then we are using PT in the way it was intended to be used and leveraging its capabilities for planning. And as opposed to, I'm dragging a spreadsheet row from here to here, just like I'm in a spreadsheet. What good am I doing? Yeah? There's a lot more than that to PT than just that. I'm simplifying. Yeah. You get the idea. I just like to complain, I guess. Maybe that's it.
Well, you know, as long as you're complaining about not me, I don't care. I don't know how to do anything, but that's my criteria.
Well, my complaint about you're very self-centered. You don't want me to complain about you, so.
You know, I am following the leadership of my country.
We're doomed. We are doomed. This project's going to fall apart soon. Oh. Coming off the rails.
And that's why you can't see me. I'm orange now. Sorry.
Well, actually, I put some backlight in here so I don't show up.
Oh, is that it? You have a filter?
No, it's just you know, one of those fluorescent low wattage things, and it makes me look orange, which I do not want to be the case. Okay, so I'll change this text story to the story about the membership number refactoring, and we should be good for that. And we'll have more discussions on how we evolve PT.
Yeah. So my thought is that, kind of like we've talked about, we can try that. Let's go another iteration or so, and then we can make another adjustment.
Well, as you pointed out or discovered, if we go to points for chores and bugs, we can't go back.
And we're going to have to do a whole lot of voting.
We'd have to do a lot of voting, or we just leave it to the discretion of the person who creates a chore.
Right.
Most That stuff is not difficult to take a stab at.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's what we decided. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I will check. Actually, let me check the SPF thing now. See if it's magically propagated.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting the same thing.
It may take a while.
All right. Well, I'll check later, and I'll just. Shall we keep talking about it on that pivotal tracker story?
Absolutely. Let's keep it open until we resolve it. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Well, I guess we're done then, huh?
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Yeah, good meeting.
All right. See you all tomorrow.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
See you then. Bye now.